Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in, and welcome to Recipe Tuesday. I'm bringing Recipe Tuesday back because I've had 2 or 3 requests for it in the past, and I've had a few turn of events that prevented me from going further with it, so I've decided to go ahead, bring it back, and start doing it again. I wanted to share with you my homemade banana pudding recipe. It's very good. You are not, and I repeat, you are not using vanilla pudding out of a box. You're actually making vanilla pudding from scratch. And I'll go ahead and give you the recipe on that. What you're going to need is 2/3 of a cup of sugar divided. You're going to need 1/3 of a cup of cornstarch. At one time I used to use flour, but I come to find out that cornstarch does a better job dissolving and it looks cleaner once it's made. A dash of salt if you want to add it, it's optional. 4 eggs separated, 3 cups of milk, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now what you're going to do is you're going to count out approximately 45 vanilla wafers. This could vary. 4 bananas sliced, it's about 3 cups divided. Here's the thing that I have come to find out. When you go to make banana pudding, please by all means make sure you use Nabisco vanilla wafers. I have tried cutting corners using other brands. It's not as good. Alright, what you're going to do using 2 pots, one bigger than the other, you're going to create a double boiler. You're going to fill the larger pot with water about 1/3 of the way up. Place it on stove and bring it to a boil. In the smaller pot, you're going to add 3 cups of milk, then add 4 egg yolks separated. You're going to beat that with a wire whisk. Alright, take the smaller pot, place it inside the larger pot with boiling water. The smaller pot has to be floating in the water. You don't want it to bottom out in the larger pot. Then you're going to add 1/3 of a cup of cornstarch and beat that with a wire whisk. Cook uncovered on low to medium heat, stirring constantly for 10 to 12 minutes or until thickened. Keep in mind, within that 10 to 12 minute period, if you don't see the custard thickening, you can always add a little more cornstarch to it as you go along. Okay, you're going to remove it from heat once it's at a desired thickness. Stir in your vanilla. As custard is cooking, as I mentioned, you may want to add the cornstarch in it to reach desired thickness. And I usually do that in teaspoon increments. The second part, you're going to spread 2 tablespoons of custard on the bottom of a 1.5 quart casserole. Cover with a layer of wafers and layer with sliced bananas. Then you're going to pour roughly 1/3 of a custard over the bananas. Continue to layer with wafers, bananas, custard, making a total of 3 layers each approximately, ending with custard across the top. You know, if desired, you can put vanilla wafers right across the top, like I do, that's on top of the pudding, or you don't have to. You're going to refrigerate the pudding for 2 to 3 hours before serving. But if you still prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, you can bake it. And what you're going to do when it comes to the baking is you're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees and bake it for roughly 15 to 20 minutes. I have found that it is good either way. Now, most people like to do a meringue topping across the top of the vanilla or the banana pudding. I myself do not. I prefer to either use Ready Whip in the can, or you can also make your own whipped cream, which is very simple. If you have a hand mixer or a KitchenAid, all you have to do is get light or heavy whipping cream, pour it in a bowl, add a little bit of sugar, maybe a teaspoon or two, and you just mix it until it forms a firm peak. And you can add just a tad of vanilla extract to it, or you don't have to, and that's it. And then when the banana pudding is, thoroughly chilled, you can take it out and put that over the top, or, get what you want and add your own whipped cream. And I have found it to be very good, especially in the summertime, like the weather we're having now, at a get-together or a gathering or at a picnic. So if you're looking to try a good old-fashioned homemade recipe for banana pudding, I definitely urge you to try this one and see if you like it. It's very good. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for tuning in to this segment of Recipe Tuesday. And as I mentioned, I do look forward to doing more in the near future. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope everyone who has watched has a nice day.